All right, good evening and welcome to Futbol En Vivo on Club Deportes, show number 5. You can find us every Monday on clubdeportes.com at 10 p.m. Be sure to follow Futbol En Vivo on Twitter at Futbol Austin, Futbol Austin. Be sure to follow Club Deportes as well at Club Deportes. I am your host, Eric McCoy, and I am joined by a man who wants nothing more than to spend his Valentine's Day evening discussing the tactics of Josh Wolf. It's David Alvarez.
Hey, love is in the air. Definitely.
Just 3 dudes talking Josh Wolf. That's the spirit of Valentine's Day, isn't it?
Yeah, I got some chocolates, some roses. You name it,
Okay, you're ready, right? Ready to talk Josh
Hey.
Wolf. Love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, and I'm also joined by a man who is thrilled he can finally say the words Christian Pulisic, World Cup champion. It's Jorge Chavez.
Yes, I can. And it was a very good game. He played well, but we'll talk about it in a second.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. It doesn't matter what, we don't have to specify which World Cup, just a World Cup.
A World Cup.
That's what counts.
That's fine, yeah.
Absolutely. That's what counts. And what did you think about that match, David? That Chelsea Palmeiras Club World Cup final. Any thoughts on that one?
Well, I think the fans were awesome. I mean, you see Chelsea fans, and then you see so many Palmeiras fans going all the way from Brazil to make it to see. They had a lot of hope. That was. I mean, I felt bad for them, but
So,
Chelsea was the best team of both, and I mean. The first goal, Lukaku's first goal, it was a classic Chelsea goal. I would say at least that goal was. I don't know about the penalty, but
what do you think about the Club World Cup as an event overall? Because actually there was some criticism. I noticed this on social media. This was from ESPN's Craig Burley, actually himself a former Chelsea player, was critical of Chelsea's players and their celebrations after winning this match against Palmeiras. He said they're celebrating like they've won the World Cup. Interesting, because like I said, it was a World Cup. It is called the Club World Cup. Here's where he goes on, though. He says, the Club World Cup is nonsense. It's a showpiece event. It's a plastic trophy.
Who said that?
This is Craig Burley. He's a former Chelsea midfielder. He's on ESPN right now.
Oh, well, everybody has their own opinion, but for people that know about...
Indeed.
Yeah, everybody has but, really, it's a world championship. It's like the World Series of baseball, right? That's what it is, pretty much. But the real World Series, not like the baseball American World Series that they say they're the World Series, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it. Well, and the best teams are there, and it shows like Chelsea won. If you win the Libertadores and you win the Champions League, I mean, that's the best thing you can do. But if you win this, it's just so important for the team. And no matter what whoever says, if the players are celebrating, that's the only thing that matters, right?
So what you're saying is Chelsea's victory in this match, it proves that they are definitively the greatest team in the world, and they have just won the greatest competition
at this moment. Yes, of course. Yeah, I mean, this is culmination of what Chelsea. I'm not saying let's talk about fact. Let's not talk about. It's something that happened.
Because Burley also went on to kind of say, like, okay, Chelsea are getting beaten so badly by Manchester City in the Premier League, and here they are celebrating, beating a club from the Saudi Arabian League, and then their first match out there, and then beating a club from the Brazilian League.
It's important to make history because Chelsea had not done it before. So that was a first.
Yes, and
that's the first. It's the first time, and that means a lot to any team.
In 2012 against Corinthians. So I think there was a big. Cesar Espilicueta, the only player on that team.
I think it's huge for Chelsea. It's huge. Yeah. I don't know this guy. Where is he from? I never heard of him.
Craig Burley, Futbol En Vivo's never heard of him.
Come on,
whoever that guy is.
He has a history.
He's a bit cranky, Craig Burley. He tends to not like most things.
I mean,
based on
people
what
say
I can
so
tell
many
them.
things that. I mean, and you can make an argument about. He can make a good argument about that too, because we didn't bring the best players. Maybe everybody was tired, but at the end of the day, the best players were playing.
Yeah.
So there's no excuses. Yeah, no excuses. So it is a game of football, and it is the biggest stage of all.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the Club World Cup, right?
This is the best we have up to the moment. The Club World Cup tournament has been, from my point of view, iffy. because you don't.
Don't go siding with Craig Burley now.
No.
Right?
In the sense that you don't
here.
really get the best teams in the world. You get the champion for UEFA, and that's not always the best team in their own league. Many times,
currently it is not.
Like you just mentioned, Manchester City. They're the best team in EPL, and they did not participate. So my point is that the World Cup, the Club World Cup tournament, as it is constructed now, is pretty flawed.
Now you actually our WhatsApp group. You were talking about there are some future plans that might happen.
But this year's tournament could have been a lot different because back in 2019 they changed the format for Club World Cup, and instead of the 7 teams that they have now, it's going to be 24 teams, and it's going to be an actual tournament where you play against other teams, and I think it's going to be an interesting. It'll be of interest to us in a second. I think it's 8 teams from UEFA, 6 teams from CONMEBOL, various other teams from other confederations, and 3 teams from CONCACAF. So I think for the first time we are actually going to have.
CONCACAF?
When will that play have enough time to do that?
Because they're going to do it in over a month.
It's going to be every. I think every.
And it's going to be every 4 years, not every year.
What?
So there's that
skeptical
caveat.
of these changes.
Yeah, because you cannot give in too much game to the players.
But every 4 years, though, and then you do it during a non-Euro, non-World Cup
just Manchester City or Chelsea, both of them, they have to play pretty much all year long, they're non-stop.
How do you think, I don't know, say Austin FC would fare against Manchester City? How do you think that would go?
Austin FC, Manchester City?
Who do you think would win?
Let's be serious.
Do we really need to answer that question?
No.
But would you be a little...
I mean, Austin FC, but again, if somebody can beat Bayern Munich, if some team that I didn't even knew the name of that team in the Bundesliga, right? So, no, Bayern Munich lost.
Yeah, they lost
4-2. It could have been 5. So, if anybody can do it, probably Austin FC can beat.
You heard it here.
Beat Chelsea. I mean, it is possible.
You heard it here. Austin FC would be
possible.
Favorites against Manchester City, according to one David Alvarez.
But I mean, if I could finish my thought here, I think it's better the way they're gonna. It's a lot better than the previous versions that they're gonna put for Club World Cup, because you're gonna actually have 24 teams. And you're gonna have actual competition with teams that I would love to see. I would love to see traditional, or whoever ends up being the powers for CONMEBOL. The Argentinian champion, I guess the Colombian champion, if you want to get that deep, and whoever else
Santiago Wanderers, perhaps.
Santiago Wanderers, perhaps, in a competitive match.
Leon.
I mean, you got your River Plates and your Boca Juniors and all those guys against Chelsea and your AC Milans and all those kinds of teams. I would love to see that.
Would you be worried, though? Because my concern, I know David is bullish on the MLS team's chances in this competition, but I would be a little concerned that if you bring in these UEFA teams, and these UEFA teams are going to take this seriously, that you might end up with a semifinal where it's all UEFA representatives, kind of like what we've seen at times in the CONCACAF Champions League, where it's all Liga MX teams when it gets down to the business end. Would you be worried about that at all?
A little bit, but take what happens with CONCACAF, the Gold Cup. They almost never figure out the way to put the seeding in a way that you almost never see Mexico and U.S. on the same side of the bracket up until the end of the final, La Copa Oro. Yeah, for the Copa Oro, I'm sorry. So they could probably do the same kind of thing for this tournament and assure that at least somebody from the Western Hemisphere is going to face someone from the Eastern Hemisphere. Put it that way.
So it's all about the seeding,
It's the seeding, yeah. Okay. And there's things to work out and everything. And like I said, it was supposed to happen this year, but because of COVID, they postponed it. It was supposed to happen in China, and all that kind of stuff happened. So they postponed it, but it's supposed to happen sometime in 2023, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that'll be more interesting than the current version of the Club World Cup that we have now.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there, Jorge. I think that would be a more interesting thing. And I think the key, David, would be to not do it every season because, there's way too much soccer. But if you're doing it every 4 years, I think you can make it work.
And honestly, I think every 4 years is probably too long. So if they can do it every 2 years.
But the other thing is like they're talking about having the World Cup. Infantino is still talking about having the World Cup every 2 years.
That's a terrible.
No,
I don't absolutely not. Football in Vivo does not endorse.
I don't want to talk more about the wood off. Let's just talk about the present. What do we?
Okay,
have?
here's another question I have. One more note on this match. I mean, you mentioned Lukaku. You said it was a perfect goal that he scored. Nice assist from Caleb Hudson-Odoi. Nice headed goal from Lukaku. And after the match, Chelsea legend Didier Drogba, a man who I have a ton of affinity for, he said that this goal could be a turning point for him at Chelsea. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
Wow.
I mean, it's not a turning point. It's
Very
already.
We need to get you a Chelsea jersey.
It's already
a Mexico scarf out of the way. Get a Chelsea.
I always say that that's what Chelsea needs. If Chelsea needs to compete in the Champions League, they need Lukaku. That's simple as that. They need Lukaku.
That's why they brought him.
And if you want to compete in the World Championship, you want to be the world champion, you need Lukaku. And then you got a world champion, you got Lukaku. Okay, you pay for it.
Yeah,
let's move on.
That's why you
if you don't want it, love it or leave it.
Kinds of things.
He can move anywhere he wants.
Go back to Italy.
He can go to Inter.
But
Inter is just fine.
They
just
don't
fine
really
with
need
them.
But
without them, so maybe he can go to AC Milan. No, AC Milan is doing good too.
I have to say that I'm going to slightly, even though I would love for you to be right, David, and this to be a turning point for Lukaku at Chelsea.
Yeah.
I don't know if the problems are necessarily just mental, emotional problems with Lukaku, which a goal like this in a big final, that would be enough to perhaps represent a turning point. It still doesn't look like he feels entirely comfortable in this system, this Thomas Tuchel system. And because of that, I'm not sure this is necessarily going to be a turning point. He did score this goal, but otherwise, I think he was bad. I don't think he had a good match. He had just 2 shots in 76 minutes, which is not what you want from your striker leading the line.
Goles son amores. You got to go. The goal is the only thing that counts. He made a goal.
What are you? And okay, we are actually. I hate to cut you off there, David, but we're actually live right now on Twitter. Twitter Spaces here. Welcome, those of you watching us here on Futbol En Vivo. We're Futbol En Vivo. You can follow us at Futbol Austin, FUTBOL Austin. We air every Monday on clubdeportes.com at 10 p.m. And welcome to the show, everyone. And let's go ahead. Let's get right down to business here. We had to bury the lead and not talk about the big Austin FC result over the weekend. Austin FC were victorious over the Houston Dynamo 4-0. Jorge, what were your thoughts on this match?
I watched it from home, and honestly, and I hate to criticize, but it was super bad reception on the streaming. The resolution was, so you need to work on that. But anyways, apart from that, I mean, they played very, very well.
Hopefully our resolution is much better for you out there on Twitter Spaces. And be sure to chime in. Join the conversation as we break down this Austin FC Houston Dynamo match.
Yeah, but I did see it was, let's be honest, it was a practice. That's what these games are for, to see what works, to work the kinks out, the stuff that they've been working on all week in practice, to put it in play and to see how it works, and to see what kind of contributions the new guys can contribute. And boy, Kip Keller is the real deal.
Man, he looked good.
He looked
St.
like
Louis's own Kip Keller.
Yeah, he's
love it.
He's
the Billiken.
He did not look out of place at all. He did not look lost. He had very good pace, very good speed. The new signing that they had, Sebastian Herrera, I think his name, or Ferreira. He knocked him out. He
is a guy that the Dynamo are pretty high on as well.
Yeah.
And so for Keller to shut him down,
he shut him down very well. So and we talked about this before. Austin FC was very, very fortunate to land Kip Keller, because
analysts. How did this guy fall to
I still don't know. But most analysts had him as the best prospect out of college.
Is it fair to say though? I mean, okay, so Austin FC. I mean, Danny Pereira, who also I think had a really nice match as well, was Austin FC's pick in last year's draft. Is Austin FC, is it fair to say they just have a really excellent scouting department in regards to at least the college level?
Probably so. But I think it's the thing with drafts. Sometimes you're just fortunate to pick the guys that you pick. The best player that they had on the board last year ends up in USL, and they're still in USL, I think, for Nashville, I think. I can't remember. I don't even remember who picked first. But he did not he hasn't contributed to his actual drafted team. So the fact that Danny Pereira last year and Kippy Keller, as they call him.
Kippy Keller. Love it.
This year is able to probably, like I said, I've already penciled him in as starting cornerback. Inexperience might get in the way a little bit, but
is he your starter against Cincinnati?
Yes.
Okay, David, where do you stand? What are you doing? You got to pay attention. We're live on Twitter Spaces right now. David. Focus.
I'm just checking on Johan Valencia.
You trying to read who Kip Keller is, or are you trying to?
Yeah, Kip
learn?
Keller. Who was that? I know. I've been just thinking about Johan Valencia, and he say he's going to give 100%.
I would hope so. That is the yeah.
And then when somebody says that it's going to give 100%, it says something. It says something.
I would be surprised if he said, "I'm going to give just 50% to Austin FC."
Yeah, nobody.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to.
Nobody.
You're
going to give.
I'm going to give a solid 80. I'll give a solid.
Well, he's already putting himself. He say he's going to do it. Let's see. Like if you see him walking, you need to remind him that he.
We can remind.
Are you walking and you say you're giving 100%? Give me the money back.
Yeah.
We're talking. Okay, we'll get to Valencia in a second here, Debbie. We're talking Kip Keller at the moment. Is he in your starting center back pairing when Austin FC take the field opening night against FC Cincinnati?
Definitely, there's no doubt about that.
No doubt about that.
No doubt about it. Yeah.
So who does he start in place? Because I don't know. Gabrielson, he's still in Norway.
I think he's still in Norway.
I'm getting disturbing like Musa Gite kind of vibes to this. I hope it's not Gite Part 2.
It is strange, but therein lies the dilemma: is that who do you start next to him? Because Cascante's got more experience.
Cascante actually looked pretty good in this match.
He looked well, and he played well at times last year. But he played well at times last year because he had Matt Beasler next to him.
Yes.
But whenever you had him play with Romagna,
I still have nightmares.
Yeah, that was
Romagna Cascante, not my favorite center back there.
I love it. I love that.
And
you like to live dangerously, don't you, Doug? Yeah, that's a gambling.
So it is a gamble.
Right there.
Speaking of which, it is a gamble to put a first-year guy, no matter how good he looked in a preseason game against a bad Houston Dynamo team. Who do you put next to him? I mean, it's
Valencia.
But he's a midfield.
As a center
midfield.
I told you that. I love the way he plays.
I know he can do a lot of stuff. But
he played good in that position. Remember, every time we're losing, like most of the game time, like last year.
But they matched him up with Romagna. I mean, with Cascante for this game, if I'm not mistaken, right? So I guess that's the best two guys for center backs that we have at the moment.
I think, until Gabrielson arrives, to be honest, I thought Cascante looked good. I think a lot of times in a center back pairing, you want that center back that kind of stays at home, plays a bit more conservative, and then one that gets out and plays aggressive and tries to make challenges. Yeah. And I think in this case, it was Keller was the aggressive of the two, and then Cascante was the one kind of sitting at home and playing a bit more
I feel
conservative.
very comfortable about Cascante no matter what. I don't know. Cascante, he's just going to make mistakes. Sorry. I feel...
We shouldn't.
We should see on Wednesday. On Wednesday, we should see who is the best in that position. I think that would be the best way to do it, because this Wednesday it's going to pretty much show everybody gonna have no problem with the pixels. You'll be able to see.
See, you're having a tough time actually analyzing this Houston Dynamo match because the stream quality was so low. So I actually didn't get a chance to watch this one live. I watched the replay of it, and it streamed fine for me. I feel like I got a pretty good viewing of it. But okay, the other question I got a couple of questions lined up for you guys, but I want to move the conversation on to Cecilio Dominguez, scorer of 2 goals in this match for the Houston Dynamo. This was definitely good Cecilio in this match on Saturday. David, what are your expectations for Cecilio for the 2022 season?
Well, my expectation is that Cecilio keeps, playing hard like he's playing in the.
So he needs to give 100%.
He needs to give 100%, and not.
I hope all players.
And do not do the Neymar fake stuff like when it's not a penalty, when it's not a foul.
Yeah,
don't do that. Waste time. That's my expectation, not his expectation. So
goals. How many goals? How many goals would represent a good season for Cecilio?
I mean, I think just 6 goals will do it.
6 goals. That's worse than last season. No, that Futbol En Vivo as a whole does not endorse.
How many did he have last season?
He had 7 last season.
He had 7.
No, 6 is good. Because everybody needs to score.
I guess if it's distributed,
you gotta think he's not like a guy that is gonna score more than that. It's gonna be the average guy. I mean, I don't know.
I'm worried we're losing viewers. How many goals represents a good number of goals?
A good number?
Cecilio?
Probably 15.
15, okay.
Which is double what he had here. And
I think that's more like it.
That would be ideal. That would be ideal. No, I'm talking about reality.
Reality.
I'm not saying how many goals do you think he's going to score. I'm saying how many goals would represent a good season. So, how many goals is he going to score? 6 could be right.
Honestly,
but that would not be a good season.
Any more than he did last year, it would be a good season.
That would be an improvement. That is true.
That is
but
what true.
What I did notice, and I hope this continues for the rest of the season, is that he played primarily the position that is strongest suited to him, which is the left forward, left striker. And so if he stays there, and other people are able to distribute to him while he's there. And Fagundes on the other side as well, on the right side. I think they'll be formidable because he'll be able to concentrate on the position that best suits his talents, which is the left back. I mean, the highlights that we've been able to see, and again, when you show highlights, you're always showing the best of him. But most of the highlights where he scored, he's always been on the left side.
Yeah, cutting in from the left, shooting on his right.
Right,
yeah.
And so that's his best position. So keep him there. And if they are able to keep him there, I don't see any problem with him. I don't see any issue with him scoring 15 goals.
Yeah, absolutely. 15, that would be amazing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say 12 would be a good season for me. So,
the only reason I say 15 is because he's a DP.
Yes.
He's got to show that he's a DP. If he does, even if he like David said, if he improves from the 7 just a little bit, that's not going to cut it. He needs to
If he only scores 6, that's really not going to cut it.
That's really not going to cut it.
If he regresses.
But again, I mean, if he's able to contribute in other ways, suddenly gives 10 assists all of a sudden. And other guys
absolutely.
So it's
make
relative.
up for it with I think he was on just 4 assists, I believe, this past season.
I think so, yeah. 4 or 5.
Still not a very good total there.
Well, it's just so beautiful not to have Pochettino in the team. I tell you this.
Okay, so actually, it's interesting. So the guy who was more or less playing where we would have typically seen Pochettino last season in this match was Alex Ring, because Alex Ring was playing in the more advanced attacking midfield position, and in the first half, Danny Pereira was the deeper midfielder. Second half, Johan Valencia. How did you like Alex Ring playing as a more advanced midfielder? He did score Austin FC's 3rd goal.
I think he can easily play the position. Yeah, he showed that.
You liked him more than Pochettino?
Of course. Like somebody like
the face said it all.
There's like even a lot of differences that we can name.
Yeah,
attitude.
They're just different players.
All, what you're gonna do. Hitting the ball with both legs, one leg. I'm not like this leg that much. So, And his shots were like awful most of the time. I mean, he's everything. I mean, I cannot say so many good things about Pochettino.
What would happen if you read
well.
that
And
Pochettino was being transferred to Santiago Wanderers? How would you feel?
I will feel offended.
So even second division, still not good enough for
no, for second division of Chile, that's not good for him, not good for anybody. But I wish him the best. I think I might be wrong. Like some players do better than other teams. Definitely, and some coaches do better than other teams
Just
too. So
different environment sometimes helps.
see, Everton. You see what happened with Everton. Anyways,
Yeah.
So I want to get your thoughts on this, Jorge.
Yeah.
Alex Ring, attacking midfielder. Did you like it?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the role he kind of wants because he played defensive because he wanted to give Pochettino the offensive side of the midfield, and he said it just doesn't work. And so now that he has a good option in Valencia, especially,
Yes.
as someone who can cover when he wants to go forward, I think it's going to help the attack. He did score a goal. He was very instrumental in getting the ball to the strikers when the chances were there, and so he I think Ring, that's a position he wants. He wants to be more on the offensive side, and if he's able to do that, knowing that the guy next to him is going to be able to cover for him, he's going to have more freedom to.
Is there any question for you as to who that guy is? Is it for sure Valencia, or is Danny Pereira a possibility as well as far as starting?
Because Pereira played very well.
Pereira was really good.
He took a run into the box that was able to, and I think he's the one that fed it to Cecilio for the score, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
Yeah, and so he
Yell at us if we're wrong, Twitter.
Yeah, but he showed something, and then apart from that, from Valencia's point of view, yeah, I definitely have Valencia as a starter.
Arias is in the one.
Oh, Arias, can you hear us?
I am right here. Can you guys hear me?
Someone's watching. I love it.
Wow, that's great.
We
Arias.
got a viewer, yeah.
Well, Arias, welcome.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. And sorry, I'm a little bit late.
No. Hey, better late than never. David's always late, too, so it's fine.
Yeah, we're all good.
So obviously, I was hearing the comments that were going on about the game, and I don't know if you guys got a chance to talk about Kip Keller yet.
We did. We loved Kip.
Well, what were your thoughts?
Good. Oh man, you know what? That's exactly what we needed. Did you guys see him manhandle, quote unquote, Houston's historical biggest signing in the world? Basically, he body checked him twice. Just took the ball from him, made him look silly. And this is a kid coming out of college. Oof, forget about it. I am all down for this. And this is exactly what our defense needed. I was a little apprehensive. I didn't think that he was going to be ready in time, because he's fresh out of college. But oh my goodness, I am much more confident about our defense.
Is he a starter for you?
Yeah, well, we need to see what Gabrielson's going to bring, right? But as of right now, absolutely, you have to start him against Cincy. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I think we're all really wanting to get Gabrielson actually in the country. I think would be
that would be a good start.
But I think we have to see how that goes with his arrival. But I think right now it's hard to see both Romagna and Cascante as starting ahead of Keller, in my opinion.
Did we lose? Arias?
Yep, sorry. Yeah, no, I agree 100% as far as Keller, right? I want to see him start against FC Cincinnati. By the way, great interview, Jorge, that you had with Cascante. Oh, loved it, man. Loved it. That's the kind of content we need, in my opinion. If you could do all the Spanish speakers this season, that would be great.
Yeah, and we have so many Spanish speaking players that I think we have a big opportunity here. What are your thoughts on Valencia? What did you think about him?
Oh man, I am going to call Jorge out on this one because he was very, very skeptical about Valencia. Jorge, ya vistes, you saw with yourself. The thing that really impressed me about the guy was his first touch, his passing, very smooth, very smooth. I also thought he may need a little bit of adjusting time coming from Colombia, but I was very impressed. And I don't know if I'm team Danny or team Valencia, but I don't think it really matters. We're going to need both of them. This is a long season, and I'm excited to see what both of these guys can bring to our midfield.
All right, thank you. We appreciate your insight. Futbol En Vivo's first ever call-in.
Yes.
Yeah, history has been made.
In this millennium, I mean.
At least on the Club Deportes side, absolutely.
But he is right. I mean, Valencia probably needs a little time to adjust because I think that's probably what happened with I forgot his name already. Pochettino. He was asked at the beginning of the season what differences he made, and I don't think he adjusted well at all to the game, and so we got to be cautiously optimistic that Valencia will be able to adapt to the speed, to the roughness. It's just a different league. I mean, it's not better or worse than Colombia. It's just different. So you just got to adjust.
Yeah, I think really kind of where I stand on it right now is I feel like Valencia is probably right now the better defensive midfielder than Danny Pereira. I think Pereira is probably the better attacking midfielder than Valencia. But for a team that leaked as many goals last season as Austin FC did, I think and especially considering the center back situation, as much as we like Kip Keller, that's still a great big question mark. Right. If you can put just a lockdown center mid in front of those center backs, like what we think Valencia is, I think he has to be the starter. Where do you stand on this, Dubby?
Yeah, Johan Valencia. Impressive.
You will give 100%.
Impressive.
Guaranteed.
Impressive defensive midfield role for Austin.
100% guaranteed.
Impressive. He's very impressive. So, and he's going to give 100%. As we said earlier, right? He said it. I'm going to give you 100%. And it is definitely somebody that comes from the first level. One of the few players that come from a high level, playing 7 years, play for Deportivo Cali, and playing the Libertadores Cup. So nobody had that level of football.
So he's got some experience, and his tracking defensively is, I think, what helped Deportivo Cali with the last year's championship. That he was the guy that tracked whenever there was an errant ball that was sent to the opposing forward. He was the guy that tracked the ball down, and he wasn't even on the defensive line like we just said. He's a defensive midfielder, and he was able to do that. So when the defense breaks down and allows something like that, and you have a guy that's able to track the ball like he does with his speed, that's gonna help volumes for a team like Austin FC with their bad defensive tracking last year.
And I absolutely agree with what our call-in guest had to say about his passing as well. Yeah. He would win the ball, and it would be like a short, quick pass in a tight space. Yes. And I think that can help launch counterattacks. So that is absolutely. I think of like Rodri on like Manchester City, and he has a similar kind of win the ball and then play like that quick vertical pass. David, do you agree with me?
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
No, I'm just, was that too high? Too high?
No,
drop Rodri out after just one
I'm thinking we're talking about the highest
we can talk.
The highest we can talk is about Valencia, right? But then other teams are bringing big names from Europe, right? Douglas Costa.
Insigne.
Galaxy.
Insigne. Like this guy's.
Shaqiri is coming to Chicago.
Shaqiri is coming to Chicago. Like those guys.
We got Gabriel. He's from Norway.
He's from Europe.
Okay. Yeah, I used to play professionally in Luxembourg. That's a friend of mine actually did play in Luxembourg.
You did.
My friend Juan Carlos, who we use in Peru. Peru.
Yeah.
So he was a great player, but yeah, there you have it.
Okay, so I want to move things a little further up the pitch because I think there's another kind of starting lineup debate that is existing right at the very top of Austin FC's formation, and that is at the striker position. Max Cerruti started and scored in this match, started ahead of Moussa Djite. Who is the number one striker for Austin FC right now? Cerruti or Djite? Or
or someone else.
Danny Hosen. I forgot his name for a second. Are you a Danny Hosen guy?
Yeah.
Driussi is going to play the more attacking midfielder. I'm talking striker.
Oh,
Striker.
you mean
Up front.
So Cerruti or Djite?
Oh my God. Dite. Yeah, I think Dite. But
Djite's got to score.
why did he stay there? Why they didn't get rid of him? That's like if he's there, it's for a reason.
They're
right?
investing on him, so
Yeah. So
right now, though, you're Djite.
well, after Wednesday, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I'm not because I haven't seen him play. They need to play before I make any prejudge.
Here's the thing. I think long term, I would like to think Djite is going to be a very good player for Austin FC. Right now, I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, Cerruti's goal, that run that he made, that near post run to get on the end of that Kolmanic cross, Kolmanic probably offside, so that goal probably shouldn't have counted. But they didn't call it, and so that cross that came in, I feel like Kolmanic was sending in crosses like that consistently last season, and Austin FC didn't have a striker make that near post run across the face of goal to get the tap in. And we saw that from Cerruti, and we didn't see that from Djite, didn't see that at all from Cecilio. And so for me right now, because he is the more like seasoned, experienced, just overall competent striker, for me, Cerruti is probably my starter going into week one. Where do you stand on this debate, Jorge?
I agree because Urruti's he knows the nuances of most of the Western Conference teams, their defenses, their what they tend to do, and so that will help him be or get to the right places at the right times to help feed either score himself or feed off to his other fellow strikers. So. I think for now, I agree. I really like Djite in the long term. He's quick. He's got the physical abilities to be, especially
extremely young. 22.
He's 22. Yeah. So he's got good start for him. And I think he'll benefit a lot from playing under a guy like Cerruti. And Maxi will. I do also see him as a starter from day one.
I feel like watching Austin FC last season, there were so many times where I was like, just give the team just a league average striker, and the attack will be so much better. Yeah. And so actually, after the match, I went and actually looked at some numbers on Cerruti, and because I was like, this is the guy. This is the league average striker that can immediately make this attack better.
Right.
Cerruti probably a little below average when you really look at his numbers, at least over the last couple of seasons. It leaves a bit to be desired. But one thing that I did note, and I think it was on particular display in this match, is his pressing. Yeah. So I looked at a stat. This is on fbref.com. Pressures per 90 minutes. Cerruti, 18.52 pressures per 90 minutes, which is above average for strikers in MLS. Djite just 8.64, which is bad. That's very bad. That's not a lot of pressure for a striker. And I think Austin FC, their press was outstanding in this match.
In your analysis, who was the highest FC rated player? Austin FC rated player.
As far as pressures?
Pressing.
I didn't actually get to look at that. Okay. If I had to guess, from last season, probably Driussi during at least the matches that he played, or Fagundes probably would be another one that was very active.
One of those two guys, but those two guys are midfielders. They're not strikers.
Yeah.
And so the strikers that they have, they probably less, probably around Djite's average as well.
Yeah, because I don't recall Cecilio being particularly active when he was leading the line as far as pressing goes, and neither John Gallagher, whenever he would start up top, either is not really something I'd associate with him. So I think that kind of brings me to another thing I would like to discuss. But I think Austin FC's pressing in this match was as good as I've ever seen it. I mean, correct me if I'm going a little hyperbolic with my praise right here, but I mean, it was a good like kind of 4-4-2 shape out of possession. You know, the two banks of four, and then Arruti and Driussi up top applying the pressure. But especially on that first goal that Cecilio scores, I mean, Houston are in Austin FC territory. Austin FC's press forces them all the way back to the goalkeeper. And then the bad pass to I forget his name.
To the goalkeeper. Stevenson? Or? I forgot the goalkeeper. He's a new Steve Clark.
Exactly. Steve Clark then plays it forward to the attacking player, then kicks it to Cecilio. But it all starts with that press.
Right.
And I actually thought that Austin FC allowed Houston to have much more of the ball than they typically allowed their opponents to have last season. Would you like to see Austin FC become more of a counter-attacking team
I think
this season? Do you think that they could actually fare better being able to attack in transition as opposed to always just monopolizing possession and struggling to break teams down?
Well, I think if they maintain the same attacking style from last year, if they want to win the possession battle, that's fine, but having the possession in the back three instead of the front three is much different. So if it means that you have to sacrifice possession to be able to press more towards the front, I'm all for that. And I think they have the players, because they may not have had the speed last year that they do now, but they have, again.
And they have the depth. So
they have the depth.
So you can rotate and consistently have fresh legs to execute this.
Because we forget that there's Ethan Finley's also in there as well.
Yes, who had, from what I heard, a very good match against Toronto in the previous preseason match.
So like you said, they have the depth. We'll just see how the injuries happen. If they're able to minimize that, like they were unfortunate last year. I'm still interested to see what's his name, the striker that was injured early in the
Danny
season.
Hosen?
Yeah. So if Hosen
easy to forget his name,
can show something, we'll see what happens with a striker position.
Yeah, and so let's go ahead and wrap things up on Austin FC. Just got one quick question. David, stay awake, please. Just stay focused. Give 100%. Go full Johan Valencia.
Yes, sir.
On us here.
Yes, sir.
Wednesday against Atlas, a match I hear
that's
you will be in attendance.
Toronto is in the past, right?
You're a man that wants to look to the future. So what do you want to see on Wednesday against the defending Liga MX champions?
I want to see 100% from every player, and also effort. I want to see it from
effort.
The coach. I want to see the coach having less water and more action.
So you're concerned about the water that Josh will
drink? Just what I'm expecting is a win. I'm expecting a win for
against Atlas.
Of course, yeah.
Atlas going to be pretty heavily rotated, do you think? They're in the mid-season for them?
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to bring their best players.
This is la prueba de fuego, we say in Spanish.
Yeah.
La prueba de fuego. We're just talking, okay, so many things that might happen. Tactically, he can do a 4-4-2, like a 4-3-3. He will be doing a 4-3-3, but, I think this is what we need to see is this in action, Too much,
and even though I don't think Atlas is going to bring their starters, that doesn't matter because they rotate.
Same thing happened when Chile and Mexico played. We didn't have
great
the starters.
Backups. They're Mexican champions because they were able to have great backups. So even if they play the backups, it'll still be a good test for Austin.
It would be the best thing ever can happen to Austin FC and their fans. Imagine
if they win.
If we win, right? We win, right? That's what we need to take it that way.
We'll see what happens.
I'm all with the team. I can criticize everybody and say, but the idea is like, hey, let's go for it. Let's beat.
Absolutely.
I'm less.
I'm going to be the giant of the CONCACAF.
I'm less concerned about the result. I just want to see more Kip Keller and I want to see more Johan Valencia.
No.
That's what I want to see. I want to see those guys
No
get
result.
minutes.
You gotta win.
It's preseason.
It's 11 against 11.
And you know what else I want to see?
11 against 11.
I want to see 100%.
Yeah. Speaking of 100%, production is just signaling to us that we have a special guest.
We have a special, just in time as we transition to talk a little Champions League. We're going to preview the Champions League, and I hear we have a guest that wants to talk a little Champions League with us.
Hey
guys.
All right, let's start with PSG versus Real Madrid. That is going to be the big match on Tuesday. And let's give a big shout out to Arush Kamboj, Lionel Messi super fan,
man,
and Futbol En Vivo legend Arush Kamboj.
Hey guys, how are you guys?
Arush, so good to hear your voice again, man. We are doing well. How are you doing?
Good. Trying to catch up with all the soccer.
Well, you come to the right place. Futbol En Vivo. That's where you keep track of everything. So you're PSG Real Madrid. You're a Lionel Messi super fan. Lionel Messi, just 2 goals in league play for Messi for PSG this season. Is this his time to shine? The Champions League.
Oh yes, the Champions League is when he opened his scoring, right? But I did hear that Sergio Ramos will not be able to play in that game, so that I'm very happy about that. PSG won't be playing with 10 men.
Worried about the red card from Sergio Ramos.
I know, right? So, but yeah, Lionel Messi, Real Madrid, we all know it. He loves playing against him. All that El Clasico rivalry. Ronaldo is not there, but still. You have to take it with a grain of salt. If you've been watching PSG play, it's not how he used to play at Barcelona, because it's not how PSG sees him, how Barcelona used to see Messi. I mean, we talked about so many times that at Barcelona, he used to get the ball all the time. Anybody got the ball, they would look for Messi to pass the ball to. Now that's not happening. And the last game, just the last league game of PSG, Messi passes the ball to Mbappe and expects the ball in return. That brought the winner against Real Madrid to my mind when he passed the ball to, I think it was Alba, and he cut it back to Messi and he scored the winner. So I think that's what Messi was hoping would happen in this last game as well, when he passed the ball to Mbappe, and Mbappe went on to take the shot and scored the 90th minute winner. And Messi looked up. PSG won the game, but Messi looked upset. So there's, I don't know, chemistry isn't clicking or a clash of the egos, but it's not the same player. I mean, he doesn't play as the center of the team anymore. So he's good at adapting. You can see him taking the role of a playmaker. He was starting to do at Barcelona as he was aging, but I think at PSG he doesn't really have a choice. So it's going to be interesting to see how much focus they give to Messi in this game. But yeah, all eyes are going to be on Mbappe, because Real Madrid, that's his future destination. Some people are saying deal's already done. He's come out to say that no, but let's see how he plays against them. If he beats them, they're going to sign him. If he doesn't beat them, they're going to be happy to sign him. Either way, I think he's going there. But interesting.
Yeah, a lot of intriguing subplots in this one. So who wins? Who wins, Arush?
Oh, of course, PSG.
Of course, PSG. Do they have to win the Champions League for this to be considered a success? Messi joining PSG?
I mean, it's that title that everybody wants, no matter how successful Manchester City.
It's the Club World Cup, I think, is the one that everyone wants.
Yeah,
we discussed that earlier, Arush. You weren't here for that, but the Club World Cup, that's the big one. That's the big one.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got you.
Just making sure you're aware.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know you've missed some of the matches. Busy guy. Yeah, Club World
It
Cup.
should be called the Universe Cup.
The
Universe, World Universe.
Okay, so you like PSG. I also like PSG. Who do you like, Jorge?
I'll go with PSG. But I have a question for Arush in a minute, but we'll get to the predictions.
Okay, who do you like, David?
I like everybody, man.
You like everybody.
This is
So he's a man of the people.
Hey, Valentine's Day. Come on.
You gotta pick a pick. You can't pick a draw like you did during the
cannot pick
World
a
Cup
draw.
Club. A winner will emerge from this.
Oh, really?
This tie.
Oh, my goodness. I thought, but it's gonna be Jesus. It's gonna be PSG.
Okay.
Conflict is the name of the
But
game.
it's like I want PSG to go, but Real Madrid is gonna go. I mean, my heart goes with PSG.
So who is your pick though?
It's gonna Real Madrid is going.
Okay, so us.
Okay, so
3 are PSG, 1 Real Madrid.
Yes, that's because
So David is saying PSG will win at home, but Real Madrid will go forward. That's what David's saying.
I'm sorry, Rush. What did you say?
I'm saying David is saying PSG will win tomorrow at home, but Real Madrid will go forward.
Okay.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Okay.
Sure.
So
I could see that.
Yeah. No, but definitely. I mean, both are great. I mean, I don't know what to do because I want to watch the game.
you gotta call out of work, I guess. So the other match on Tuesday, not I don't think there's gonna be much disagreement on this. Sporting versus Manchester City. Arush, who do you like?
Sporting.
Oh, the bold pick. What makes you think that?
You must not have been watching much soccer lately, if that's your prediction.
He watched Bayern Munich play.
Exactly. David knows.
So I'll definitely get what's the name of the Manchester City by far,
So earlier in the show, Arush, David actually suggested that Austin FC could beat Manchester City. That was his.
No, but it was suggested. I mean, the question was very loaded, so come on.
I don't ask loaded. Arush, you know me. I don't ask loaded questions. But I'm going Manchester City. Who do you like?
I'll go Manchester City. Yeah. Sure.
And David, Sporting?
City, of course. It's
I'm assuming your Sporting prediction was a joke, Arush. Is that a safe assumption?
No. If City loses, I'm gonna look like a genius.
That's what you were going for. Okay.
So if Sporting, if they win, then we'll be hearing from you again. If City win, we probably won't be hearing from you. Is that kind of how this is gonna work? All right, so those are Tuesday's fixtures. Wednesday we got Inter Milan versus Liverpool. Pretty interesting tie here. Arush, how do you feel about this one?
Liverpool. I mean, Inter is playing well, but Conte's not there, so intensity is coming down every game. But Liverpool is starting to catch up.
Are you concerned about all the minutes that Mane and Salah had to play in the African Cup of Nations? They've been busy guys lately, those two.
No, not really. They've had rest. They played the last league game, right?
They did not go. It was a struggle for them against Burnley. They were not particularly impressive. Scored on a set-piece goal. Just a 1-0 win.
But they had, I saw the highlights. I didn't see the game, but they had chances. And again, that's Salah Mane. I think the rivalry from the AFCON was a little, fresh. So they weren't really ready to give the chance to the other one. If Klopp can sit them down and talk to them, team first, guys. Liverpool is a team that can surprise you. I mean, it's just they can lose and surprise you, and they can win and surprise you.
Yeah,
but you cannot write them off.
Okay, who do you like, Jorge?
Was Liverpool and
Inter.
Inter, I like Inter.
I'm gonna go Inter as well.
Yeah, I like Inter just because of the
hate that you have from Liverpool.
It depends how fast Salah and Sane.
You don't lie, David.
It depends how fast Salah and Sane are able to integrate to Liverpool back coming from Africa, because they played a lot of minutes in that tournament.
Yeah,
I think
they could be tired and they may not even play. I think
it
depends.
I think that's a factor. I think watch the wide play in this match. Alexander Arnold and Andy Robinson for Liverpool, and Ivan Perisic and Denzel Dumfries for Inter Milan. There's a very good attacking fullbacks, wingbacks. Whoever wins the wide spaces, I think, is going to win this tie. David, who do you like?
Well, I have to say that there's going to be a great team again. a great game. I'm sorry. But, I'm going with Inter Milan.
Okay, so Arush,
you're loving everybody there.
You're kind of going, we're all zagging, and you're
not because there's a couple Chileans in Inter, but.
Yes, the dynamic
Vidal
Chilean
and the
duo.
new Alexis Sanchez that is.
Arush, how often
right
have you discussed Arturo Vidal and Alexis Sanchez since you ceased recording with us on Futbol En Vivo? Because you used to talk about them every week on this show. How often do you talk about them?
I don't even know if they're still playing. David used to update. Because of David,
Love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, so the last one that we're going to talk about here is Salzburg versus Bayern Munich. Arush, how you feeling about this one? Bayern had a tough weekend. They gave up 4 goals against Bochum, I believe. So how you feeling about this one?
That's why I think Bayern has to win. They had that hiccup, and they're gonna feel. I mean, they must feel that they won the reverse fixture 7-0, right? And
Yes,
losing 4-2
yes,
to that same team. I'm pretty sure all that soul searching that they needed to do, they've already done it. I don't think they will make any errors now in this game.
Okay, Jorge, how do you feel? How many goals is Brendan Aronson going to score when he lifts Salzburg to victory in this tie?
He will not score because Salzburg's not going to score. So,
Wow, a shutout.
I love the kid, but he's not the savior of the team. So I don't. Yeah, Salzburg's not going to fare very well.
Yeah, this was pretty straightforward. I'm going Bayern as well. David, why do you think Salzburg is going to win this tie?
5-0.
Salzburg are going to win 5-0.
No, come on. Let's be serious. Okay, it's gonna be an easy win. So I wouldn't say easy
For Salzburg?
No
or-
games are easy, but
Was that Bayern playing?
Either the Salzburg versus Bayern.
Yeah, it's Bayern's gonna
they'll be
win.
comfortable. I
Okay.
think.
So so we got all our predictions in. Jorge, you had a question for Arush.
One last question about Lionel Messi's move to PSG. Do you think he anticipated not being the focus of the team, or you think he wanted to be the focus of the team, and that's why he went to PSG, despite all the other signings that they have?
No, I think he was the first part. He was anticipating not being the center of the team, because if he had moved to City did not really have like a super duper star. But at PSG, you have Mbappe and you have Neymar, and he must have known that these are the biggest egos of football, right? I mean, as you get bigger in football, you get even bigger ego.
And you had Di Maria too. And
Di
Icardi.
Maria. So I think that they were the first ones to know that they're not gonna get any minutes, and they might have accepted it. There were a lot of talks of Icardi moving out because of whole Messi Icardi situation. And even if there was no situation like that, everybody was anticipating Messi on the right, Neymar on the left, and Mbappe playing as a striker. So there was really no place for Icardi. But he made a difference in the beginning games. But the original question, I'm pretty sure he anticipated. But I don't think he or anybody anticipated how long it's going to take for him to click. He still hasn't clicked. He's starting to get comfortable, starting to make the differences. But it's just that when you say Lionel Messi, and when you talk about a league where almost everybody knows that it's like the least competitive of like top 5 leads.
You're not going to pull out the old Farmers League insult, are you, Arush?
I mean, what can I say?
In other words, yeah.
At the end of the day, Mbappe is the new Messi.
Yeah, that's why you love football, right? That's why you love football. If you had talked before Lionel Messi played his first game for PSG, if you wrote that team down on paper with the best goalkeeper, best right back in the history, very strong midfield, and the best attack there ever was going to be after MSN, you would have thought that PSG is going to blow everyone away. And in comes the first game, and everybody's struggling. It's just like the strongest player, not a strong team. So that's why you have to.
Everything that money can buy, just like Newcastle.
So you think, Arush, that you mentioned earlier that he was upset with in the last game that he played with PSG. Is that because he's upset that he hasn't melded in well with his teammates yet?
No, so that's a great question. He has melted with the teammates, but he's not the focus of the team. That's number one. Nobody's passing him the ball just because he's there. People are looking for the right passes, and he doesn't show his frustrations like most other players.
Right.
I'm looking at you, Ronaldo. So he's not gonna shout on the field. He's not gonna.
It's good to have a back.
But he's not going to call you out for not making the right pass and especially when it was the winning goal. I think he was upset because if you watch the highlight, I mean, that was the right pass to play. Mbappe should have passed the ball to Messi. He was even Icardi, you can see Icardi is in the right position and screaming for the ball. Both of those passes would have been Icardi. I can understand that there was a defender in the middle. It might have blocked the pass, so Mbappe didn't go for it. But Messi was in that position and scored so many goals from that position, just passing the ball to you, playing that 1-to-1 and coming into that position and scoring. I think that's why Messi was upset that he didn't do the right pass, basically. But I'm pretty sure they must have talked and they won. So it's all forgotten.
Because like you said, Messi's not that kind of player to call out a guy in the out in public in the middle of the game. He's just probably in the locker room.
Somewhere in his mind, Jorge, I think he knows that Mbappe is only here for a few months. So it's just
yeah, that's true.
All right, we appreciate the insight there, Rich. We're actually just about out of time. You probably hate hearing me say that because you had to hear me say that all the time whenever we would.
Love hearing it.
We got to get you back on because I want to talk Barca. I want to get your thoughts on Aubameyang and Traore, all the new signings. So we'll have to get you back on again soon. But we're out of time here this week. Special thanks to Jerry Lopez behind the boards. Excellent work, as always. We are Futbol En Vivo. This is Club Deportes. Air every Monday at 10 p.m. on clubdeportes.com. Appreciate you guys. Thank you to our guests. We will do this again next week.